My name is Alwyn Garuga. Peace Kesime Bagorogoza murdered my father. And they also went ahead and sold his land. Do you know when they sold the land? They sold this land on 16th July when my dad was in ICU.
Alwyn Garuga, Mutabani Omugaga, Garuga eyafa agamba nti maama we eyamuzalira ddala yatta kitaawe. Ebigambo binavuze abirumiriza. Olunaku lwali mu video gye nkuletedde njagala osooka likinge ompe comment yo. Olowooza kituufu Alwyn kyakola okulumiriza maama we okutta kitaawe? Kati olwaleero Aleese n'Empapula nkusaba akatambi kano okalabemu akasharigireko munno era nkusaba ompe endowooza yo bambi subscribinga njagala tutambule ddala mbagita endless medias bambi hanzi nja kuwanga emboozi naddala ezo eziba mu ekyokuyiga njagala tuyige nga tumanya ensonga eno. Maama we ya transferringa ettaka lya kitaawe ng'akyali mu ICU. Maama we yakwata passport ya kitaawe okusinziira ku Alwyn Garuga nti n'agisuula ku embassy ya Turkey kyokka nga taata we baali bamukoledde agende ajjanjabwe mu ggwanga lya Bungereza. You can imagine. Njagala omulizeemu biki byayogera.
Yeah, I'm making this video to respond to the slanderous misinformation being circulated on social media by alleged human rights activists, the Sarah Biretes of this world, the Charles Romushanas of this world, trying to attack my character as opposed to interrogating my assertions or allegations that Peace Kesime Bagorogoza murdered my father. I would like to make it crystal clear to Romushana and Birete that it is my right to protest the murder of my father and go public on my opinion, because he's my biological father. He's not yours, Birete. He's not yours, Romushana. If your father was murdered by your father, what would you do? You tell me, you human rights activist. You have not interrogated anything I've said. You've not checked it out. You've not checked out the facts. You've not checked out the documentary evidence. It is a matter of fact. Undisputed fact, by the way. And I want Romushana or Birete to bring evidence to the contrary that the late Dr. Musinguzi James Garuga had a UK medical visa in his passport, which was tied up at the Turkish visa handling office when he died on 6th August. That's a fact. Can they prove otherwise? Is it normal for someone with a UK medical visa to have his passport in another embassy when he needs medical evacuation? You Birete, you Romushana, have you ever heard of a diabetes patient dying in 5 months? Have you? Or have you ever heard of a diabetes patient being operated on after 3 weeks, like Bagorogoza did to my father? 3 weeks after diagnosis. Have you ever heard of it? Have you ever heard of an open chest surgery on someone in ICU who is recovering? Have you ever? So if these are the facts and they're undisputed, why don't you tackle the facts vis-a-vis character assassination? Is that how you have been doing your things as opposition people? Huh? Okay, let us pretend like that you are opposition really. You're not bothered that Garuga was murdered, because Garuga was NRM initially and then he went out of politics. You're not bothered that that a Ugandan citizen was murdered and the son is saying, please, there's a problem. By the way, even if you are to go by the moral side of view of it, did I just come out of the blue to attack peace on social media? Or wasn't I responding to peace's harmful propaganda on a pulpit in church? Moreover, a memorial of my late father who she murdered. Peace went on a pulpit and tried to blame the government, alleging that it is due to the deplorable healthcare system of 40 years that my father died. My father had a UK medical visa in his passport. When he died, he was denied evacuation by Peace, without a shadow of a doubt. He was also in a private hospital. He never stepped in a government hospital throughout his time of treatment. Ever since February, when he got that hip problem, he was in no government hospital. Actually, if Peace is alleging that Uganda's healthcare system is so deplorable, then why did she, first of all, deny him initial evacuation to the US as early as March? Okay? And then after that, force doctors carry out an open chest surgery on him, which killed him the same day in August. If it's true that she actually was the reason why they tied up his passport to the UK medical visa at the Turkish embassy, was because they wanted to take him to Turkey. Why did she order an operation here then, which killed him? Could it be because I had filed a human rights evacuation suit that they wanted him out of the way? Romshana and Biret, why don't you interrogate those facts? Peace herself in church went and said she went to Turkey and that's why she's alive. She went to Turkey 3 weeks. Are you aware she went to Turkey 3 weeks after burying Garuga? 3 weeks. 1, 2, 3. When his blood had not yet even dried, she was in Turkey with 5 other people. So my question is, ever since February, when you are denying him evacuation, why didn't you also go with him to Turkey? You go and blame government, 40 years of deplorable healthcare system. Was Garuga in a government facility? Did government stop Garuga from going out of the country? You heard that he went to the airport and I told Garuga, go back. Or it was Peace who got his passport with his ticket to life and tied it up with Peace, with Philip Musinguzi. In conspiracy with Rowena, who you heard on a video, me fighting with her to evacuate my own father. And she was busy telling me, my own sister, you negotiate with your mother to evacuate your father.
Good faith.
In good faith. Someone needs emergency medical evacuation and you want me to negotiate with someone who has held his passport hostage in another embassy. And you berate and Romishan, I really think that you are human rights activist, so you're something else. Yeah, so you guys, I think if you really want to address some of these issues, tackle me on the facts. Don't try and divert. Because you know the facts are crystal clear. And no one has come out to challenge them. Let them come and challenge them. I have documentary evidence to prove what I'm talking about. Peace goes and attacks Honorable Ruchikire at my late father's memorial. Is it Ruchikire who killed my father? Is it Ruchikire who transferred my father's land while he was still in ICU? Or you want me to give you documentary evidence? I can give you documentary evidence. In fact, let us start with the documentary evidence. Let's start with here. No, let's not cut. Let's not cut. Let us, me, you know, I do my things. I do my things. This was a communication from Johns Hopkins, America, on 13th March 2026, inviting my father to the US. Okay? Why didn't he go to the US? Have you asked yourself that question? This was communication from the evacuation company, following up on my dad's evacuation, which did not happen. It's dated April 1st, April 2025. Remember, Garuga fell sick on 28th February 2025. Okay? This is communication from medical air service. You can even call their numbers to confirm if you want. Cromwell, telling us that Cromwell Hospital is ready to receive my father, and the aircraft and crew of medical air service are ready to evacuate him. Why didn't Garuga go to London? Have you asked yourself that question? This is the Home Office letter when the initial rejection came, before reapplication and the award of the visa. Huh? Maybe he can read for you. Let him read for you the communication. Can start from here.
Yeah. Reasons for refusal. I have received your application for a visit visa because I am not satisfied that you meet the requirements of paragraph V42. They are dated, they are numbered here, appendix 7. You have applied for permission to visit the UK for 5 months for a private medical treatment at the Royal Marsden Hospital. You state that you are a self-employed farmer with a yearly income of 1 billion euros, 220 to 954, exchange rate of 487068. As demonstration of your financial circumstances, you have submitted a bank statement in your name. I note these funds are accounted for by multiple unexplained deposits. Your supporting information does not demonstrate the source of these deposits. In the absence of such evidence, I am not satisfied that these funds will remain available for your exclusive use, or that this bank statement presents a true and accurate picture. I have considered this supporting information provided with your application and note there is no indication that a farming business exists. It is trading, that it is a registered entity, or it is fit profitable. Additionally, from the supporting information you have provided with us in this application, there is no indication that your business as a self-employed person earns you the figures you have stated. I am not satisfied that you are a self-employed and remunerated as has been stated. I am not satisfied you are going to the UK for the reason stated, or that you intend to leave UK at the end of your visit. Your application is therefore refused under paragraph V42, and I think the next step, the reaction.
What he was reading was the initial visa rejection, and the reason was Peace and my brother Philip, who applied for that visa initially, indicated and misrepresented my father as a farmer, someone who is a trained accountant, trained lawyer, an industrialist. Of course, this was to deny him evacuation. And there are those who argue that why didn't he apply for himself, a sick man? You expected him to put in an application by himself. So these people stopped all of us, or stopped me from putting in the application initially, and went ahead and did the application. But their actions afterwards also show their intention, right? Because even when he got that visa after reapplication, they got the same passport with the UK medical visa and dumped it in another embassy. Then they also went ahead and sold his land. Do you know when they sold the land? They sold this land on 16th July, when my dad was in ICU. 16th July, he died on 6th August. So you're busy preventing someone from medical evacuation to UK, where he has doctors waiting for him, and a UK medical visa, and a jet to evacuate him. And you are busy transferring his land, 2,000 acres. Do you know how much they transferred each acre for? 97,000 shillings. Have you ever heard of 97,000? Land worth 97,000 in Uganda? Really? 2,000 acres for 200 million is how much? Those who can do some math. Let me show you the documents so that you can be. Let us start with the title itself. Before we go to the sale agreement, we'll go to the title itself of the land. This land is company land. The land is in the names of my dad's company. Of course, the other shareholders, like Honorable Ruchikire. As you can see, it was transferred on the 16th of July 2025 into the names of Yarhanga Charles, right? By that time, my dad was in hospital. The ICU. It was in the names of Incafix Limited. Now, let's move to the transfer form. The transfer form here has a picture of that is Maguru on the right and Yarhanga on the left. But I think let me get a clearer transfer form. It's right here. You can have a look at it. They backdated it, by the way. These guys are fraudsters. They backdated it and alleged the sale was done on 10th January 2020. You can see. The details of the land is block 1004, plot 2, Nakaseke district, freehold register, LUW 38 403. They allege that they transferred it on 10th January 2023. Let us go to the title and establish when this title was created. This title was created in 2023. This title was created in 2023, as you can see. So, how do you transfer land in 2020? That was created in 2023. The title was created in 2023, as you can see. Plot 2, block 1004, Bulemezi, 849 hectares, Bulemezi. Let's look at the sale agreement of that particular land, so you can be comfortable. I know what I'm talking about. This is the sale agreement right here. Allegedly sold on 10th January 2020. Let's look for the amount of money that they allege it was sold for. They claim it was sold for 200 million. There are 2,000 acres. This land is 2,000 acres. So you divide 2,000 acres by 200 million, that's 97,000 per acre. Yeah, so and these are certified documents from the lands registry of Nakaseke, Luero. So, Maguru transfers my father's land when he's still in hospital, as they are denying him medical evacuation. You can see they signed Maguru, they forged my father's signature, witness, purchaser, with Yamjisha Ferdinand signing off. That's not all they did. And upon the death of my father, went together with Bagorogoza. They appointed Maguru as a director in my father's companies. Incafix Limited, Garuga Properties Limited, Chinchiz Development Company Limited. Okay, my father was majority shareholder. But there were other members like Honorable Ruchikire, who Bagorogoza was attacking. Ruchikire is a member of Garuga Properties on the company register. He's a shareholder. So he is within every right to question your fraud and criminality. So, Maguru's resolutions. Maguru went and fraudulently resolved to make himself a director in the company, Chinchiz Development Company Limited, plus Incafix Limited and Garuga Properties Limited. and the registrar of companies removed him. This is the registrar's ruling. Was ruling in the matter because Honorable Chikire, shareholder, took Maguru to the registry. It's like it's a quasi court that governs companies. Go to the end and read the ruling. Hold it. This is the ruling of the registrar of companies. It's not hearsay, Romshana and Birete. Okay, so start from 134.
Having carefully considered the evidence on record and the findings made herein, I am satisfied that the impugned filings appointing Mr. Maguru Agaba as the director of Garuga Properties Limited, Chinchizi Development Company Limited, and Incafex Limited were wrongfully obtained. As already found, the appointments were found upon meetings convened without proper notice to the member entitled to participate in them. Consequently, the resolution authorizing the appointments are null and void and incapable of conferring any lawful authority upon Mr. Agaba Maguru. It necessarily follows that the corresponding company form 20 fillings and all consequential fillings predicted upon those unlawful resolutions were likewise wrongfully obtained and cannot lawfully remain on the company's register. 135. I therefore implore the parties to convene fresh meeting in strict compliance with the Companies Act and respective article of association of the companies, so as to regularize the governance of the companies through the lawful appointment of directors and ensure the continuity of their operations. 136. Accordingly, pursuant and regulations 8 and 32 of the company's power of registration regulations S1NO 71 of 2016, I hereby make the following orders. The special resolution of Garuga Properties Limited, the first respondent company herein filed on 5th January 2026, purporting to appoint Agaba Maguru as the director of companies.
Yes, good afternoon. Yeah, welcome to part 3 of my response to Birete and Romshana. Yeah, so Birete is a trained lawyer, so she knows that once the registrar of companies dismisses someone from the board of a company, they rarely have committed crimes. Maguru was formally dismissed from the boards of my father's companies, having conspired with Bagorogoza to make him a director fraudulently. You know, my late dad was not stupid. The minimum board quorum for his companies or companies where he was a majority shareholder was at least 2 directors. So when they murdered him, they could not carry out company business legally. So what did they decide to do? As usual, carry out fraud. They fraudulently appointed Maguru outside the law. They fraudulently convened an extraordinary general meeting outside the provisions of the Companies Act and made Maguru, by way of special resolution, a director in all 3 companies that control 80% of his estate. So, first things first, how do you legally convene an extraordinary general meeting? Section 135 says it must be upon requisition of members holding 10% shareholding, and it must be convened by the board of directors. Remember, at this time the board was dormant. So what do? For them, they make their own rules. Maguru wrote a notice without authority, without no authority whatsoever. He wrote a notice, forged a meeting, came up with resolutions making him a director. End of story. Now I'm a director of Garuga Properties. I'm a director of Chinchezi Development Company Limited. I'm a director of Incafix. Just like that. The guy is a thug. Him with Bagorogoza. Thugs. Let's go on to read the Registrar of Companies' own ruling. Birete. And Romushana. Are you going to now start attacking the Registrar of Companies? Huh? Let's read the ruling. This is the ruling of the Registrar of Companies. Okay? I think we should read it together so that the naysayers lack what to say. Okay. So what remedies are available to the parties? The Registrar of Companies is empowered to rectify the company's register pursuant to Regulation 8 of the Companies Powers of the Registrar, Regulations S1 number 71 of 2016, and may expunge any information or document included in the register which is misleading, is inaccurate, is issued in error, contains an entry or endorsement made in error, contains an illegal endorsement, is illegally or wrongfully obtained. Having carefully considered the evidence on record and the findings made herein, I am satisfied that the impunged filings appointing Mr. Gaba Maguru as a director of Garuga Properties Limited, Chinchezi Development Company Limited, and Incafix Limited were wrongfully obtained. As already found, the appointments were founded upon meetings convened without proper notice to a member entitled to participate therein. Consequently, the resolutions authorizing the appointments are null and void, ab initio, and incapable of conferring any lawful authority upon Mr. Agawa Maguru. It necessarily follows that the corresponding company form 20 filings and all consequential filings predicated upon those unlawful resolutions were likewise wrongfully obtained and cannot lawfully remain on the company's register. I therefore implore the parties to convene fresh meetings in strict compliance with the Companies Act and the respective articles of association of the companies, so as to regularize the governance of the companies through the lawful appointment of directors and ensure the continuity of their operations. Accordingly, pursuant to Regulations 8 and 32 of the Company's Powers of the Registrar Regulations, S1 number 71 of 2016, I hereby make the following orders. The special resolution of Garuga Properties Limited, the first respondent company herein, filed on 5th January 2026, purporting to appoint Mr. Gawa Maguru as a director of the company, together with the corresponding company Form 20, notification of appointment of director, are hereby expunged from the company's register for having been wrongfully obtained. The special resolution of Chinchezi Development Company Limited, the second respondent company herein, filed on the 11th December 2025, purporting to appoint Mr. Gawa Maguru as a director of the company, together with the corresponding company Form 20, notification of appointment of director, are hereby expunged from the company's register for having been wrongfully obtained. Number 3, the special resolution of Incafix Limited, the third respondent company herein, filed on the 23rd January 2026, purporting to appoint Mr. Gawa Maguru as a director of the company, together with the corresponding company Form 20, notification of appointment of director, are hereby expunged from the company's register for having been wrongfully obtained. I make no order as to costs. Given under my hand this 24th day of July 2026, digitally signed by the Registrar of Companies. Okay? Yeah, so Birete and Romshana, I rest my case. And next time you are attacking anyone, based off of his rights. I mean, where is your humanity, Biret and Rumshan? Are you animals? Are you people? What are you? Someone is crying that they lost their father who was murdered. A father. Instead of interrogating what they are talking about, you now start character assassination. Really, all along are you saying Rumshan and Biret, that's how you have been doing your things? Where is your credibility? No, you guys, you need to change the way you operate. Thank you. Rumshan, I saw your abusive message, but I'm not going to get down into the mud with you. You're not worth it. I don't even know why people listen to you, to be honest. You lack basic critical thinking and understanding. Maybe I should speak in Ruchiga Runyankore so that you can understand. Because really, I think you don't have any command of the English language. The question you should be asking yourself is, did the late Dr. Musinguzi James Garuga have a valid UK medical visa in his passport? Or not, by the time he died? Did he reapply to UK for this visa or not? Was his passport with a valid UK medical visa at the Turkish visa handling office by the time of his death or not? Those are questions I want you to answer, Rumshan. And if it's true that it was at the Turkish visa handling office, yet it had a valid UK medical visa, why was it at the Turkish visa handling office? Why was Garuga's passport with a valid UK medical visa at the Turkish visa handling office? Was Dr. Garuga scheduled to see his doctors at the Royal Marsden, UK? Was he? Those are questions you need to ask your small pea brain, Rumshana. So if he had an appointment in UK at the Royal Marsden Hospital, what was his passport doing at the Turkish embassy? What was his passport doing at the Turkish embassy? And who took it there? And why did they take it there? Okay. Number two, somebody with some logic in their head would question why somebody who only had a hip problem. By the way, when Garuga went to the hospital in Feb, they did a full scan on him. He only had 2 medical problems: a hip problem and diabetes. According to you, with your small brain, is it normal for someone with diabetes to die after 5 months? Is that something normal to you? You go and lie to people on TV and talk big. Oh, former spy. Man, Rumshana, to be honest with you, learn to mind your own business. Because you keep on spouting rubbish about things you know nothing about. If you're going to talk about issues to do with Garuga's death, talk about the fundamentals. Was Garuga scheduled to see his doctors in UK or not? Did he have a visa or not? Did he go to UK? Weren't his doctors in UK waiting for him? Why was his passport with a UK medical visa in the Turkish embassy? Why? Those are simple questions to ask Rumshana. Don't embarrass yourself.